2019, and I'm going to keep telling you guys it's 2019 until I believe it's 2019. So, I haven't worked out a title yet, but I'm going to assume it's going to be something like 20 books I'm excited for in 2019. So these are new releases, YA, mostly fantasy. I think they're all fantasy sci-fi. That are coming out in 2019 that I am dying to read. These are in no particular order, so let's just get right on into it. Firstly, okay, the first two are kind of in order because they're the two that I actually knew about without my research. So firstly is The World of Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. It's a companion book to the Throne of Glass series, and if you guys don't know, Throne of Glass series is my all-time favourite book series. Next to the Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices. Basically, they're on par. It's a big deal, okay? Throne of Glass, actually, I'm going to say is my favourite. Anyway, that's not what this is about. This is The World of Throne of Glass. My blog post will be linked down below, and it's going to give you the synopsis of all the books and kind of a little bit of what I thought about it. But I wanted to do a video for you guys as well, so I'll link my blog post down below. But basically, The World of Throne of Glass is a companion book. It's going to go into detail, kind of like the Shadowhunters Codex for the for Cassandra Clare's books, but I'm very excited. It's going to have all about the world, which I love. I love the Throne of Glass world. To be fair, when I heard the World of Throne of Glass, I was like, oh my god, we're getting another book after Kingdom of Ash. How is this happening? And it's just a companion book, but you can bet your butts that I'm going to be buying this book, pre-ordering this book. We haven't even got a cover for it yet, but it's supposed to be released in, we don't know. Basically, we don't know when it's going to be release. We're hoping autumn of 2019, but we're not quite sure. A sequel to Honor Amongst Thieves, and that is Honor Bound by Rachel Kane and Anne Aguirre. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but I loved Honor Amongst Thieves. I've done a review on it, so if you haven't seen that, go and check that out. Yeah, so I'm very excited for a second one. I zoomed through the books. I'm going to be having to get a hardback because the first one's in a hardback. The struggles of having an aesthetically pleasing bookshelf. Number 3, I actually didn't know was coming out, which is so bad for me because I normally know when all of her books are coming out. But it's Cassandra Clare's newest book, Chain of Gold. Oh, sorry, Honor Bound is supposed to be released February 19th. And this Chain of Gold one is supposed to be released 19th of November. These are all rough dates off Goodreads. But yeah, Chain of Gold, it's another series that she's planning on doing. I am so far behind on her Lady Midnight series that I'm gonna have to catch up before that comes out, which I can do by November, let's be honest. So yeah, it's another series. It's about Will and Tessa's kids, I believe. So if you haven't seen the Infernal Devices, or if you haven't read the Infernal Devices, this one's kind of not going to make sense. So I'm very excited for that. I just love how her mind works. Like, how have you done this many series? It's all interlocking and without continuity errors. Like, woman, take a break. Number 4 is The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. This is about Alec and Magnus, which I love Magnus pieces. Alec's not my favourite, not gonna lie, but I love Magnus so much I'm gonna have to get over it. The release date for this is supposed to be the 2nd of April, and I'm glad it wasn't said for the 1st of April because I might believe that this book isn't real. It was a pleasant surprise. I didn't know it was coming out, but I'm very excited for it. Oh god, I think it's about them hunting demons in Europe. I'm actually not quite sure. It's all written down in my blog post, guys, so go and check that out if you want proper synopsis of these books. Number 5 is Descendant of the Crane by Joan Hey, I don't know. This was giving me all Inuyasha vibes, but it's supposed to be out the 2nd of April. Throne of Glass and Shadow of the Fox vibes as well, because it's set in Chinese culture, about a princess shirking the responsibilities of a crown, and she's thrust into power and she's not ready, and a lot of crap happens, and yeah, a lot of magic and secrets and finding justice for her murdered father. This one, the next one, I am so excited for. That is Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. I've already seen people get arcs for this and I'm so jealous. I wish I could have an arc for it because it looks fantastic. It's the first installment of Something Dark and Holy series. There's a lot of first installments going on this year, which is great because that's more series for me to read instead of doing my assessments. That's not the point. 2nd of April again. A lot of them are coming out on the same day as well, which makes me think that some of these dates might be incorrect. Gothic, forbidden romance, fantasy, ticks all of my boxes. and the little tagline is "Let them fear her." I love female characters who people like. It's all about the gods as well. She can speak to gods, and it's just, I love it. I love it so much. I'm so excited for this. Number 7 is The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. I'm butchering most of these names, guys. I'm so sorry. And it's supposed to come out the 15th of January. It's actually the only installment in this series that doesn't have a female lead, which is very strange for me, because if you don't count Harry Potter, all of the books I read have female leads. I don't know why. They just do. A lot of YA has female leads. But yeah, so this is a bit of a new one for me. I don't normally like to get into the minds of men, which sounds so strange. But no, I just prefer female leads. Or if you're going to do it, have like multi-point of view. Like in Kingdom of Ash, you've got Dorian's point of view, who is a male, last time I checked. It's basically, it reminds me a bit of Six of Crows. I've not read Six of Crows, but from what I gather, it's about a group of people in this order trying to overthrow power. That's the gist I get from it. Number 8 is We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. Gorgeous. Set in a world similar to ancient Arabia, so a bit of Aladdin theme here. Very fantasy based. Oh, they're all fantasy. And I already shipped the main characters. I've not even read it yet. Although it might be a Throne of Glass thing where she doesn't actually meet the person she's supposed to be with until another book. I don't know if this is a standalone or if it's the start of a series. And the way the synopsis, it makes me wonder if this is going to be a dual point of view. I love a good point of view change if it's done correctly. There are some, like, I'm actually going to have to name it, but Vampire Academy. The way that point of view goes, no, I don't think that was done well. The point of view change, not necessarily the storyline, just the point of view change between the two was a bit shady. So if it's done well, I'm very excited. If it's not, don't bother. And basically a hunter and a deadly prince go hunting for this artifact for 2 different reasons. They're both incredibly famous in the kingdom. And I think she's dressed as a guy. Yeah, she disguises herself as a man. Both famous for different things, and they're both hunting for the same thing. So it's going to be very interesting, and I think very action-packed, which is exciting. 9 is 4 Dead Queens by Astrid Schult. All these covers are gorgeous, actually, guys. There's not one really ugly cover in the whole mix. A fantasy mystery with a cunning female centre? Yes, please. February 26th, this one's supposed to be out. Basically, this woman, she's had a premonition of the 4 queens of the realm dying brutally, and she's basically got to stop it. And very, thing is, she's not exactly all, she's a criminal, basically. And yeah, but it's, what I love about it, it's very, A Court of Thorns, well, A Court of Mist and Fury, with all the different, actually I'm going to say Court of Thorn and Rose as well, with the different sections of the realm, with different queens. So I'm going to love the world building in that. I'm very excited for the world building. She's a thief, and now she's got to do a job for this guy, but she obviously sees the premonition of these queens dying, and it's all a big mixture of mystery and trying to stop people from dying. Number 10 is Courting Darkness by Robin Lefevers. The front cover and the synopsis reminds me a lot of Reign, the TV show. Not the fact that it's based on like historical accuracies and stuff like that. Just, I don't know, I just have the vibes from it. February 5th, this one's supposed to be out. She's the main character is one of Death's daughters. She's trying to find a member of this convent who, I also think this one's going to be a dual point of view one, because we also have the side of the convent woman who's been hiding in the French court. Yes, but the daughter of Death has got to accompany the Duchess of France, so that's, I'm assuming that's how they meet. But then the convent lass has not a relationship, but has to use this prisoner for her gains, and it's just going to be a whole mess of, he's a prisoner, she's part of the convent, the daughter of Death's looking for her, and yeah, it's just, And the last line is, will they find each other in time, or will their worlds collide, destroying everything they care about? Basically, everyone's got their own agendas, and whether they're going to be nice enough and help each other, or whether they're going to all implode, I don't know. I'm intrigued. I'm very excited. And I want to see how the prisoner comes into it, because all it says is she might have to help this prisoner. I'm like, ooh, why? What's he do? I'm intrigued. Number 11 is White Stag by Cara Barbieri. Basically, it sounds like the synopsis for A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is not a bad thing in the slightest, but it does seem glaringly similar. Which, when you guys read the synopsis, you'll get. This is supposed to be out 8th of January, so pretty soon. She was taught to hunt, track, and fight. Her village was burned to the ground. It screams Court of Thorns and Roses here, guys. So which is why I'm excited, because I liked that series quite a lot, but it just... it's not going to be the same, is it? But it's trying to be the same. Number 12 is The Beautiful by Renee Adier. I don't know if this is actually the cover for it, or if this is just like a temporary cover. October 8th, 2019, this is supposed to come out. The cover that we do have gives me a lot of originals vibes. It's based in New Orleans. Gives me all of the original vibes, actually. So it'll hopefully fill that void when they cancelled it, or when they finished it on the CW. 8th of October, set in 1872 in New Orleans. All about the undead and witches, and there's an asylum in it. I'm buzzing for this book. Number 13 is We Set the Dark on Fire by Taylor K. Mejia. I don't know. This is the most gorgeous cover of them all, in my opinion. February 26th. It's about this woman who's at a school for girls where they're taught to be prim, proper housewives and try and get the richest husband and have the most successful lineage. So it's like far from the political uprisings of the lower class, but the main person's actually from the lower class. Like, her parents forged papers and stuff like that so she could get into this school. And then stuff happens that she might have to, graduation is coming, whether to spy for this resistance of the lower class, or and risk everything, or not, but then like betray her lower classmen, all that sort of jazz. Very politically bound, I believe. Number 14, Once and Future by Amy Rose Capeta and Corey McCarthy. Now, this is a King Arthur retelling. I'm not really the biggest fan of, like, if someone says King Arthur to me, I'm like, okay, sure. Not the greatest, like, I'm not going to bounce on it just because it's got King Arthur on it. But I am so excited for this. It's going to be absolutely epic. Release date is March 5th. First of all, the main character is called Ari, which I love that name. I actually named one of my main characters Ari. Breaking a curse, meets Merlin, defeat an oppressive government, bring peace and equality to space. Pretty cool. Number 15 is Blood Air by Amelie Wen Zhao. Powerful ladies, a bad boy male character, dodgy kingdom, add some magic, and that is me. That's all the books I read. There's themes to these books, as you can tell. June 4th is the release date for this book, and basically she's got blood magic like Katara in Avatar: The Last Airbender, and so she's pretty darn dangerous. And then someone was murdered. She's sentenced for his murder. But it was actually someone else that did it, so she's basically trying to find the murderer who killed her father. She makes a bargain with this arrogant male character, which, hello, we all know how that's going to end. To help clear a name, and it's all about bringing magic back and clearing a name and finding her father's murderer, basically. Number 16 is by Kirsten White, who created Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and this is called Slayer. So, as a huge Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan, I am all over this. It's a carry-on. It's about two twins training to be watchers instead of slayers, but then stuff happens and it turns out this one who's training to be a watcher turns into a slayer, and it's all about that. That's the release date for that is January 8th, so again, very soon. Number 17, Romanov by Nadine Brandes. This is actually probably one of the ones I'm the most excited for. I love any Romanov retellings. Serious magic involved, gorgeous cover. Release date is May 7th. It's about, she's got a heart, she was on the run, everyone thinks she's dead. One of the Romanovs, yeah, thinks she's dead. but she's really getting this spell away from Russia. She turns to a soldier on the fighting for the opposite side for help, and they help each other, but then suddenly that's going to get in the way. Very Romeo and Juliet-esque, with a bit of Romanov secrecy and magic thrown in, so that should be pretty cool. Number 18, Hook and Crown by Nicole Knapp. This is the first of 2 Peter Pan retellings. Now this is the one that I'm always over if it's Peter Pan retelling. Good old retelling with a twist. This one's supposed to be out, it just says autumn of 2019, there's no exact date, but this is where Peter Pan is evil, going to give Once Upon a Time a run for its money. And yeah, so Peter Pan's evil and Neverland's not all that great, and it's all dark and twisted, so it's a bit like a horror book, so I'm so excited for that. I love me a good dark fairy tale telling. Number 19, To Best the Boys. Not as excited for this as I am all the other ones, but I am still going to enjoy reading it, I'm sure. Got Maze Runner, got The Hunger Games, and then meets Throne of Glass, the first book, with all the tournaments. But women aren't allowed in this tournament, only aristocratic men, so she disguises herself, I suppose, and she's got to go up against all these men. She's this smart scientist. So it's basically going to be a lot about her just beating all the guys. And then number 20, the final one, this is the second Peter Pan retelling. This is called Second Star by J.M. Sullivan. And I am so excited. And I know I've said that about all of them. Don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button down below if you're not already subscribed to my big, wonderful internet family already. It'd be greatly appreciated. Hit the like button if you liked this video. There should be a bell next to the subscribe button. Click that bell button so you can be notified of when I do upload, although currently it is one every day. And comment down below what books you guys are excited to read, because I'll see if I can get to them as well. And I love any new books I can read. But yeah, these are the ones I was excited for. All of my social media will be linked down below. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye.